So if you want to make a magical altar, then there are a couple of steps you have to take. And we're going to make a magical altar together, and then I take you step by step through the various options. So we start with an empty space where we want to build a symmetrical altar this time, because there are also asymmetrical altars when you sit before an altar, but this is a symmetrical altar. You can sit around the altar. Just to give you an example, I will first show you a symmetrical altar which is already finished. So this is symmetrical altar. Here you can sit for meditation. Then we have some elements leading to the altar, and then the essence of an asymmetrical altar is that there is a one-sided orientation of the altar. So here you see the central orientation, the shaman's drum, before the shaman's drum, the magical mirror with the moon, then Abraxas central on a vertebra of a whale, and then a big solid piece of stone here in the form of a Shiva lingam. And then to the right as well as to the left we have a number of items which are organized symmetrical and like opposites. Just one little example. Here at the foot of Horus we find the crystal Merkaba, and here at the foot of Thoth we find the black obsidian egg. So a round egg, black, and a crystal in the form of the Merkaba, clearly the duality of opposites being synthesized together, brought together in the godhead Abraxas. Because the heart is important, before Abraxas we have malachite and a rose gemstone on top of it. So, but now we're going to make an altar which is symmetrical, where we can sit around with 4 people or with 6 or 8, for instance during a ritual where we reach altered states of consciousness, like a mushroom ritual or ayahuasca ritual or a cannabis ritual. We start with a silk carpet from China, quite old actually, and I will step by step I will build it up with you. So we want to evoke the wisdom of the magic tonight. We want to start building the altar based on the figure Thoth, the god of science and the god of magic from old Egypt, and the god, the scribe of the gods, and the judge of the gods, quite a high up ranked god. So let's start with that, and then just what we want. I think we want a pentagram. So with a pentagram I start with a solid black obsidian egg, and because the unity of opposites I will place the crystal Merkaba on the other side. Well, because the heart is very important, on the left place I place a very beautiful malachite, and on the other side I put a nice quartz. So then we have the top, and as the top of the pentagram will be a spiritual issue, I think I ask the angel Michael to be here. This is a... Okay, you see it. I don't know whether you can see it. It's not so easy. Yeah, you can see it. Michael is in it, Michael. So now we have a pentagram with Thoth in the middle. A pentagram pointing upward, referring to the spirit and solidly anchored in the earth. Now I want to add a couple of other symbols, right and left of Thoth. So I selected the owl, a symbol of the wisdom, and the snake, the symbol of the wisdom. So then we have still north and south to go. For north this time I selected the Scarabaeus, and on the south I have the sacred union of Shiva and Shakti united in an orgastic posture from the Kama Sutra. Well, because the spirits of the wind are symbolized by feathers, are the spirits of the intellect, and the wisdom I add on all corners as a symbol of the spirits of the air. The sylphs, I add feathers. Now, to add the element to this altar of acting, I add the magical dagger on the south and the magical wand on the north. And the magical wand is a piece of art with a crystal with spiraled rosewood, symbol of the snake, with a Himalayan crystal again, and each little white dot is a shell, symbol of the eternal sea. So now I completed the altar with 4 ancient pieces, no, 6 ancient pieces from an ancient book of magic from the Bon religion, Tibetan religion. I just happen to have very powerful incantations here. And of course some candles. So as we have a pentagram in the middle, I was thinking of this design, which is a kind of hexagram, not totally, but it looks a bit like the tree of life. And then we put some crystals here and there and some shells from the sea, because the sea of course is the source of life. And then we have this altar, which is a beautiful meditation altar for a nice ritual. If you want to have a nice ritual with friends, it is very important to create a very nice altar, so that everybody can look and meditate upon the elements on the altar. And in my experience, altars can be extremely powerful in triggering insights. I hope this will help you creating your own very special altar. You just need to have a couple of things. Doesn't matter, I have these things, you might have other things. You feel what is appropriate for the altar and you put it on. And if you're on a second-hand market somewhere, you see nice objects, then you just buy them. You always feel it the moment you do the magical path. You don't need to look into books. You know what to do, you know what you need. Hail to Toad!